What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast. Our next live show is December 11th at the Ha Cafe in North Hollywood. On that show, one of the guests from this episode today, Dan LaMorte, is going to be on that show. It's a very special show. And also, please check out all the podcasts that are on the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast Network. You could find that social media at CPU Podcasts. Also, follow us on Instagram at Comedy Pop-Up. For more information on that show or any of our future shows, please check out our website, comedypopup.la.com. All right, let's start the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast. I'm your host for today, Sean Grant, and I'm here as always with Paul Antonio. What's up, man?
What's up? This is like the double host special.
I know, man, because you've been taking over the last few ones.
I've been taking over. I've been changing Ron G's name on everything.
Oh, shit. Good. Yeah.
Taking it off.
You're out of here, Ron.
I'm even claiming Nickelodeon as my credit.
Oh, shit. Oh, snap, man. Yeah, Ron's on to... Ron was the initial host.
He's still technically the host.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just our schedules don't match up.
Oh, that's what's up,
it's
man.
hard to get him in
Because
here.
he's doing big shit, man. But so just like the comedians we have in here today.
Yes.
As always, we bring you two amazing comedians that are in the city of Los Angeles. This first one. Now, you've seen it. He's a panelist on Fox's Red Eye. He's originally from New Jersey by way of Brooklyn. Give it for my man, Mr. Dan LaMorte, everybody. Clap it up for him.
What's
Do we have... Oh, we don't have no damn sound effects. Oh,
Now we
Jesus.
retired.
We are sound effects.
We are the sound
We are
effects.
the paid sound effects.
And that other voice you're hearing right there, man, she's a writer and comedian. She's a big-time stoner, originally from Las Vegas. Give it up for Miss Rachel Wolfson, man. Yeah.
Hello.
You didn't clap for yourself.
I'm high.
Dope, man. Well, thank you guys for joining the show,
Yes,
man.
thanks for having me.
Of course. I know you're just in town for just a few days, right there.
Well, till the 17th, and then I'll be
nice.
coming out here for
We
good
talked
next year.
about this. We tweeted about this moment.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
have you guys not met in person before?
No, but
It's
we're homies on the
on the
Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's my first time in California, so
Oh, snap. And you started comedy here, right, Rachel?
Yeah.
But nothing in Vegas at all?
I go back there now. It's like
got you.
I'm like starting in my hometown too. It's like trying to navigate both. I'm like, hey guys.
Yeah.
There's not really. Vegas has like such a the comedy scene is so baby. You know, it's like such a young scene. So it's like, you know, they don't care.
It seemed like a weird, because when I was there, like, you know, there's the clubs.
Yeah.
That seems like a completely separate thing.
Clubs book a lot of road comics and like headliners in LA,
Right.
New York or whatever. They don't really book a lot of obviously local comics because the scene is so young.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
But there are some really good comics out there. Like my homie Jocelyn Sharp, she's fucking hilarious. I
Dope.
love her.
Yeah.
There's some funny people out there.
Man. And
yeah.
of
Where I
course-
grew up in Manalapan, New Jersey, we do not have a comedy scene.
Oh,
I did one show there, like a return show to come back, and I
Yeah.
got attacked by 3 guys on stage.
What? Like,
Yeah,
they came on stage? You're
Yeah,
a
I
big
got into a
dude.
fight with 3 dudes.
Holy
yeah.
Jesus.
what was
man.
the joke?
So weirdly enough, I'm a huge Fish fan. I'm also a big stoner and hippie kind of person.
Yeah.
And this guy had a shirt on. It looked like a clown was on fire. So I said that, and it turned out it was a picture of Jerry Garcia. He was a big Grateful Dead fan.
Oh.
So then he thought I was making fun of Jerry Garcia, and then he says my favorite heckle ever. He goes, "Don't make fun of a local legend." And I was like, dude, he's from San Francisco. We're in Manalapan, New Jersey right now.
Yeah.
Our local legend is literally the situation from the Jersey Shore.
Oh my God, what a hero to look up
Yeah,
to.
and then a guy at the bar pulled up his pant leg, and he had a Grateful Dead tattoo, and then he came swinging at me, so I hit him.
Shit.
Then 2 guys from the back came to attack me. Luckily, my buddy from high school, who was a Marine, was at the bar and tackled one of them, so I only had to take out 2. And my favorite part about the whole thing, none of the other comics on the show even like lifted
Thought
a finger.
about it. Hell
Yeah,
no,
like I had the
dude.
mic in my hand hitting the dude. Like I love fighting on stage.
Don't you ever insult the Grateful Dead or Jerry Garcia like that ever again.
Right.
And the whole time I'm hitting the guy, I'm like, I'm a Fish fan.
Yeah. This is for fish.
So that was the one home, and then my pay got docked $30 because those 3 guys got kicked out, and it was $10
man.
tickets. So they docked me $30 pay to really add insult to injury.
Sucks,
Damn.
man. I mean,
Yeah.
you're used to that. You played baseball. Were you a pitcher?
Yeah, I was a college baseball player
Did you
before.
Did you pitch and people
I
rushed
was a
them out?
pitcher. No, because I was very intimidating on the mound. No, that's when I wasn't 300 pounds and I had abs
got you.
and stuff. Yeah.
Dang.
So I was much more intimidating back in those days.
Now he's a football player and a fighter.
I eat myself into a new job.
That's dope.
That's dope,
Yeah,
man.
it's,
Did you play sports, Rachel?
Hells yeah. I played basketball.
What? Were you dope?
I was sick.
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
Did you
I'm
ever
still
play
sick.
stoned?
I have played basketball stoned like now, but like growing up I didn't. And I think, but my friend Petey in college, he was a big stoner and he played basketball and he said it helps him.
Yeah,
and I remember playing and he was making shots. It would probably help you focus.
Yeah, I used to pitch stoned when I had big games.
Yeah.
And it always helped.
I probably would have been such a better, I mean, I was a good player, but I would have been a great player probably.
If you thought about what made you not like coaches being like,
No, I was a great player. I just got injured very easily. So like I would break something and then be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
My school was corrupt, so when the NCAA came to test, our coach got warnings, so he would ask which of us were using. Like, no joke, most of the team was on some type of what do you call it, steroids and shit.
Right.
So like we had like 3 kids on the team who didn't do drugs, so they got drug tested the entire time, and the rest of us were good.
Wow,
dude. Jeez, man.
It was that was my prime for sure.
Yeah, man. And so, and you transition now. You like,
I blew out my arm. I got hurt. I was my freshman year. I got Tommy John surgery, and it kind of didn't really work. So then I just started telling jokes. And I dropped out the next year.
Like both of you guys, while you were college age, or like in that?
I started when I was 18 or 19.
I played basketball from 5th grade up until my first 2 years of college.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then when did you transition into this career, into this path?
Into comedy?
Yeah.
Oh, like 2 years ago.
Oh, word.
Well, I was working in comedy before that. Like I was working on the corporate side of comedy for a whole year.
Whoa,
plus.
Really?
Yeah, like no one starts at corporate and works their way towards the mic, but I did.
No,
that's dope, man.
I did do that.
That's so cool. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
and then I worked in I was like a bartender at the Improv.
Oh, cool.
So I like again was like after I worked the corporate side of comedy, I was in the club, like moving closer to the mic, to the stage. So
that's in the Improv in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, because they kind of have a relationship with comics. I was at the Laugh Factory last night. They really, the people that work there seem to have no.
What
they don't know who comics are.
No, I was just
comics.
at the Laugh Factory before I got here. I love the thing. Here's my thing about this. It's everyone's a season, right? It's whoever's they're all seasons. These people, these jobs, these positions are all going to change. So you never know who you're going to piss. You never you don't want to piss people off because they could be deciding, and Laugh Factory's really put me on, and I like really like.
That's dope.
I know it may seem that way, but like they do there's a reason why I think that they have got their brand figured out. And they're doing something right. I mean, they have a strong following on social media. They really do like put on it's crazy. They're putting on new comics. They put on a ton of my videos and
Oh yeah. I see that. Like, I was just doing an indie show. But like my boy was coming to watch me. We toured together. He's King Batch. He's like 60 million followers.
He's huge.
Yeah, and he was like, "Hey man, make sure I'm on the list." And I'm like, "Nah, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? It's your comic, whatever." He's like, "No, dude, they don't play that shit." Laugh Factory, like they check everybody.
Someone did that on me. I was at UCB the other night, and they were like, one of my comic friends, they were like, "Get me on the list." I was like, "But everyone knows you." They were like, "No, trust me, just do it just in case."
It's like an LA thing,
some of them are like that. I mean, but I feel like, just put them on the list.
Right.
Just let them know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's always different rules, different days, different shows,
Absolutely.
Just double check.
Yeah, like you never know, like you said, who eventually is going to, like we have clubs in New York where the bartender is now the booker.
Exactly.
And like clubs that I used to work on the road, like who are waitresses and are managers
or that
of the
comic
club.
you hate, is now the one.
That's the worst
like,
one.
What?
Oh no.
The come up is too cruel. Like it's just crazy.
Dang, what is the relationship with the comics in New York and in the clubs? Like,
so
'cause there's different scenes, right? There's
I've had like a really interesting experience because I was actually the fastest and the youngest to ever get past at the Comedy Cellar.
Oh, wow!
But
damn.
then I don't work there anymore. Like I got out very quickly, but that was where I really saw what a relationship is like between a comic and club. Like if you're a regular there, you could do no wrong with the club.
Right.
I mean, they go to bat for you, and it's been shown very much recently in big headlines.
Oh, has it?
Yeah. And but yeah, the clubs outside of that, like you have the occasional club owner who really tries to like befriend the comics, but it usually always backfires. I think it's best to keep it business sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I'll see guys become like super close friends, and then next thing you know, the whole lineup is their friends.
Right.
You're like, your club's not going to grow now.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think I like when it stays business, but I do like smoking weed with a lot of the club owners.
Right.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is out here. I feel like Adam at the Comedy Store is very super cool. Like when you talk to him, but like, he makes sure he's not approachable.
Yeah, there's a way to handle it as a comic. Like, I think the majority of us know how to go about a relationship with a booker, but then you have some who are like constantly like, so when can I send that tape?
Yeah.
Right.
There's like I feel like that's the thing is like the farther along you get in your career, you either get it or you don't. You either figure out some of the unspoken
you
things.
You appreciate space.
It's just, but it's also like how would you treat people in another job? You wouldn't just like go up to your boss and ask for a raise the first day you get there. You know what I mean?
That was something I had to learn because I never worked a real job before comedy because I was a baseball player.
Or
and I
whatever,
started this as a teenager, so I was like, I used to treat people pretty poorly, I assume. And now I'm like, I've like reached out to people and apologized. So I was like, I'm sorry, I was 18 at the time. I was cocky. I didn't know what I was doing.
Absolutely,
True.
man. Yeah. Like, so did you notice that when you were on the corporate side of things? Like, did people, you know what I mean? Like, could you detect that when somebody was like, I need something from that person, so let me talk to them a certain way?
I think, like, obviously, everyone has their different approaches as far as like marketing themselves as a comic or like requesting things or like, and everyone is, different and far, at where they are in their career. And I think that it's a hustle, it's a game. And it's also, we're dealing with a lot of egos and like mental illness and like, and it's, so there's always going to be people who are intense and who, may not get it and never figure it out. But like in comedy, there's no one who's going to sit you down. I mean, they may sit you down and be like, you should quit. But like, that's why they're here. They don't listen, that's why we're all here, but it's like any other job. You're going to have people that just don't get it. And sometimes they just slip on by, and you're like, how the fuck did you get here, Carl?
Like both of you guys, what I like too is both of you guys use your comedic talents in other facets. Like you're involved in like the sports world with MMA.
Yeah, I was for a while working for the UFC, but I had to tone it down just because, I was dedicating too much time in multiple avenues. And that's that's when I started really putting in a lot of time on social media instead with jokes and stuff. Because the UFC was so much fun and like so many of my best friends now are like big time fighters, which was cool. Yeah. But there's only so much fun you could have hosting an MMA podcast. You can't really get into stand-up like you want to.
Yeah, I don't like. There's those guys like I guess Brendan Schaub got into comedy after that, and Joe Rogan.
Because MMA and comedy is such a market that comics miss out on. Because you can't offend an MMA fan. Their favorite thing is watching people beat the shit out of each other.
Love it.
So they transit. Like I've also worked in the baseball world a bit. Those people never transitioned to comedy because for some reason baseball is a very religious sport. Like when I was
America's favorite pastime.
Yeah, when I was a baseball player,
Jesus.
My baseball glove had a cross on it. I wasn't even that religious.
Right.
But MMA fans are the best comedy fans. Like
savages.
Dope.
I love it.
And I know you like lend your talents to like a lot of journalism. Like
I've gotten a lot of writing gigs, and
you wrote for an article came out in Vice. Was it?
I just wrote an article for Vice because I do a lot of work in the cannabis community. Smoke a lot of weed. I
would say you're like the cannabis like young comic right now.
Thank you. I am a young cannabis comic. That's my rap name.
The Hanukkah pictures have been fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, Chronica as we call it. Yeah.
Oh snap.
I'm all about so I dip my hands in many pots. And I smoke many pots. No, but those two things like MMA and comedy, weed and comedy has always beautifully gone together, like Tommy Chong and Cheech and Chong and everything. Willie Nelson. I mean, he's not a comic, but, so yeah, I've been able to get a lot of opportunities.
And I feel like there's not a lot of young comics utilizing the marijuana community as like Doug Benson. Like Doug Benson clearly showed how you could do it.
Yeah, he's incredible. Doug is a mentor. Like I consider him a mentor. He's brought me on his podcast, and I got to open for him earlier this year. And so like he's someone I look up to in a sense of he's figured out how to bring weed mainstream. I mean, like he has shows on Netflix, and he had a show on Comedy Central that was widely popular. It didn't get canceled because it was like one of the most successful shows, but there's still a taboo with advertisers and mainstream, and but he's been able to do it, so I really respect him.
There's those guys who you can tell like that when new people kind of jump into a persona and you're like, I don't know if that's you. Like you're just trying to fit the mold.
It took me a long time to come into the stoner persona.
Right.
I never smoked weed on stage before.
How old were you when you started smoking weed?
So I was 14.
Okay,
but,
so you were young.
It was never as much as now. Like I have spinal stenosis now, so I just smoke and celiac. So weed helps me with the stomach pain.
It's the best.
Right.
So like I was always a stoner, but not as much as I am now.
Yeah.
And just
But
recently,
you also lived in places probably where you had to be like,
Yeah, like when I grew up in Jersey, like I've been arrested multiple times before for marijuana because it was very strict. And now it's finally starting to work its way on stage where like I'll be that like 23-year-old comic who wears his hoodie on stage now and
love it.
And like,
are you only 23?
Yeah,
Holy
I've aged
shit.
terribly.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
wasn't saying. I wasn't saying like, oh, you look. I wasn't saying
Sorry.
that was not
that's
what I was saying.
I said, holy.
I was saying because I'm old as fuck.
Yeah, I'm a child.
I'm 31.
Oh yeah. We're the same age. Oh,
We could switch numbers though. I feel like it'd be more believable.
It would be
like-
more believable. Yeah.
No, I was like,
You'll look the same though when you're my age.
Yeah, like I meet a lot of guys who look like me at my shows on the road, and they're like,
Yeah.
I look like you when I was 18. I'm like, thank God.
Right.
Yeah, but now that gluten's out of my life, I'm hoping to.
Oh, you're
drop this
gonna
look.
outlive us all.
Yeah, I'm hoping to drop this look very shortly.
Oh man, that's
No, it's a
dope.
great look.
And I wasn't going off your looks. I was like,
Oh,
'cause
dude,
you
half
were
my
talking about
act,
the
please. I need to
road.
look like this. I lose half my
okay.
jokes.
True.
I was like, oh, this dude has so much experience on the road and shit.
Well, they're like, what is this? If you looked your age, they'd be like, what the fuck does this
Yeah,
kid
it's
know?
honestly helped
What
because
life
people take you more
experience-
serious.
That beard shows life experience.
Yeah.
It tells stories.
I started growing this when I was skinny. I have no idea what's under there anymore. I don't want the beard. I just really am scared of
Could
what's
be like
formed.
a tiny child. Like,
Yeah, it really could. Something's in there. I
He
know
keeps
for
getting me
sure.
high.
Oh man, and both of you guys, I haven't had the opportunity to check out your social media, but you have big followings. I know we were talking about that being an influencer earlier. Like,
My Twitter's okay. My Instagram, I just started dedicating a lot of time to.
yeah. So how do people grow that? Like, that's what I'm going to ask you guys both. Like, is it just by finding your niche and then
I
hashtagging
personally
stuff?
think that's the trick.
Mhm.
I think you got to look at it like there's the real world and then you have the internet, so how do you stand out? Because now you're on a global level, like
Yeah.
in front of you, you just have your local community to worry about, right?
Exactly.
Like in the internet, it's like, okay, well, how do I access people on a larger scale by the content that I'm giving them? Okay,
Absolutely.
you have to stand out. Okay, well, what do you do to stand out? For me personally, I tapped into a niche market of female stoners that aren't trash. They're not into the like half naked, which I think there's a place for that. I love that shit. I like porn. I like all that stuff.
Right,
but
right.
I don't look like that. I'm not gonna wear a push-up bra and like have my titties out and be taking half naked photos. Like I really tapped into the like everyday stoner chick, who goes to college or doesn't go to college or,
Yeah.
whatever. So I've created content for that group of people.
Yeah.
And they've found me from that content because
Exactly.
no one was really doing that.
When did you know they found you? When did you? Because I know it happens
It was,
eventually.
but truthfully, that's not even like
You don't go into
I
it
didn't.
like
I
that.
never intend. I fucking hate the term influencer. It's so stupid. But the way that I've come into this is I truthfully started making memes, right? To teach myself Photoshop because I never retained the information in school. I was a fucking idiot and just smoked weed all day. And also, I never took the time. So I used it to teach myself Photoshop. So I started Photoshopping like Tommy Chong into space. And then Tommy Chong started sharing my content. This was years ago, back when the algorithm was so much different than what it is now, where if like, it's so stupid, but like if a big account like Tommy Chong, who had like 1 million followers 5 years ago, 3 years ago, if he liked something on your page would blow up. I mean, it would explode in likes and engagement.
That's almost disappeared now.
And that doesn't exist. So I really got in like in the last minute of because there are people who are trying to do what I do, but I've just been able to like do it before them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you got to be original. You have to stand out and, find your niche. And because there's going to be so many people who are going to be trying to do what you do.
Exactly. Yeah.
The difference between having a fan base and not is just you find it.
Yeah.
So many
Or they
comics
find you.
yeah, but I think it really helps, like how you said, making the memes and stuff, because so many comics won't do that. I know comics who think social media is a waste of time. But I was like, how do you think you're going to sell tickets on the road then?
That's what I'm, people show up to my shows. I have 50,000 followers but they're real. Like there's people, you'll look at them and you're like, okay, how do they have 20,000 followers, but like 2 likes on a photo?
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
My followers are real. They're loyal. Yep. They will drive 2 hours to see me perform.
Yeah.
They will pay those tickets. They are amazing.
They're also the ones who buy the merch.
Exactly. They're going to be with me for the rest of my life. If you know, they're, and I've cultivated them. Like they're a great, my following has gotten me weed in other countries. You know what I mean? Like I get taken care of by these people.
Yeah.
So
that's the beautiful thing of it.
And they just support you. So I think exactly the future of comedy, it wasn't like what it is back in the day where word of mouth, was, people, how do people become famous? It was television or like word of mouth. There's, and it's just, you're not going to stand out if you don't build a following,
I couldn't agree more. I just got into like the meme side of things. Mostly, my Twitter was always okay. And then I never realized that it was getting good until recently. Like I'll wake up the next morning and I'll realize that like all 5 of my tweets read over 400 likes. I'm like, oh, I actually have a following now.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Man.
And that joke probably, sometimes they don't translate on stage. So sometimes some of the jokes, your tweets may not be
I've had tweets get over 1 million likes and not work on stage.
Right. So but also if you think about it, memes, because like before I even did stand up, I was making memes for over a year, writing every single day, memes, not just one meme. I was obsessed because I just like figured it out. Something clicked in my head, and memes are just digital jokes. They're just like one-liners, basically. And it's short form jokes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and sometimes they do work on stage. I've seen people steal memes as like,
oh my God, on stage.
And that's the worst part is like, okay, so there are memers like the Fat Jew and like Fuck Jerry who don't create their own content. They steal from other comics, right? That's how they built their following off other people's funny. Whereas me, I'm an actual memer who creates my own content. Oftentimes I know the meme, I know where this joke came from. And here you are trying to tell it on stage like it's your joke. So it's like kind of it's an interesting situation. I'm sure you see it too because you're on the internet as well.
Memes have been so good to me lately. Like I just started contributing to like a lot of the big meme pages like Bro Bible and the Chive and all these things.
Well, how does that work? You say a meme page?
So like what I used to do was I still like, I know you have a separate page for memes, which I'm thinking of doing because mine is all in one account right now. So my personal account and my memes are all in the same account. But what I'll do is I'll just take a screenshot of my tweet and then I'll make it look nice. Like a lot of people, they'll screenshot their tweets, but they won't make it look presentable for Instagram, which is half the battle. You have to make it look like it fits.
People just scroll by.
Yep. And then if you make it look like it's an actual joke, like I've had some of them recently, like I think on average now my page gets like, about 700 likes a photo, which I was not getting.
Nice.
The memes, I've had a Star Wars one get 500,000 and shit.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is because right now, people's attention spans with comedy is so short. That's why Netflix has, say Netflix has the 15-minute special. If you have a meme go viral that's a joke of yours that reaches over 500,000 people that now come and a lot of them follow you, those are new fans who have only ever seen one short joke of yours. You didn't have to burn any material. That's why I love memes. You could grow a following without burning your actual stage material.
And the other thing is like, like I had a stupid Rihanna meme. I mean, I love it. But that's gotten like over 1 million people to my page. And I had like 10,000 followers at the time. 1 million people have seen my name. What the fuck? You can't get that on television.
Right.
You can't get that anywhere. And I mean, it's exponential. That's the other thing is like the potential to have your there's no limit to where your content will go. It will be seen by, think about how many billions of users or how many internet users there are on the internet.
I was a political panelist
overnight
on a TV show. And I recently went on stage at a comedy club and I heard someone in the crowd go, "That's the kid from the meme page Shithead Steve." Never once get recognized for TV.
Oh, the meme page.
They recognize him from the internet, not from the
your
TV.
face is still on the meme if it's your tweet.
I think the internet, I think television is, I hate to say it, I hope it's not, but a dying medium. You know what I mean? Like the radio,
I think you're right.
The print newspaper. These are dying forms of media. The internet is a global audience. And that's why, like, if you aren't out here as a comic not like trying to force people to follow you, but like be authentic in what you're creating and just trust that if it's funny, the people will follow you and they will find you and people will want to fuck with you because like funny transcends. I mean, it just, if it's funny, it's funny. It doesn't matter. So yeah, just be unique.
Yeah. One thing I mean, like my boy, we were going to a mic one day. He was like, hey, let me ride with you tonight. So I was like, all right, cool. Hey, can we stop by the movies real quick? He says. I was like, all right. Yeah, he's going to make some money. There was a movie called The Forest. He had to make a couple Snapchats, an Instagram post that said, go see The Forest, and something like a tweet or whatever.
I thought he was driving by the movie theater to sell someone weed.
They asked
like,
him,
I get
hey, Batch, can you come do this? And then it took like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And we were on our way to the mic. He was like, how much money do you think I just made?
$15,000.
I thought it was, I guess,
5,000.
5. I thought 5 was a lot. He said 29 racks. And he showed me the fuck, because he's got 16 million followers.
Yeah.
And now, like you're saying, with the internet, I can monitor how old these people are. Like if we had a TV on right now, right? No, it could be an ad on. Nobody's watching it. You know what I mean? It's just on. I can monitor how long you looked at it, what kind of impression it made on you.
And that's the beautiful thing about it. For the longest time, like we said, I'm 23. I struggled so much with my age demographic. My following, according to online analytics, was always
older,
30 to 45.
Yeah.
Until this meme surge recently of having a few memes go viral and contributing, it's almost more so in the millennial direction now, which has been so important for me. Because those are the people, like I was at UCB Sunset on Monday and 2 people from Instagram, came out. It was my first day in LA. Just because of a meme they had saw.
And you said, I'm coming, I'm going to be here.
And that's the beautiful thing about the analytics is because I was actually able to sit down and work on a plan how to appeal more to my age range, which was memes.
Right.
Twitter for sure for me is still older people. For some reason, that's always been an older fan base for me. But Instagram I never utilized.
It's interesting because Twitter is words, right? So I feel like they're more for intellectual demographic, not necessarily. There are a lot of dumb bots
some
and
awful
dumb people. But think about it, you're writing and you're reading, whereas Instagram is an image. I mean, anyone can take a 3-year-old can take a picture. So that's the other thing is like, okay, so my following is way bigger on Instagram than it is on Facebook and Twitter because I don't.
Facebook, I haven't even attempted anymore. I think that's the dead medium.
I've always had it since I started. It's such a pain to grow unless you spend money.
Yeah. That's another thing. Even Instagram is somewhat pay to play now.
That's what it is. I started.
Pay for what? What do you pay
basically,
for?
Advertisements.
Social media has like Facebook, which owns Instagram. Twitter's kind of unique because like things can just it's like in the timeline, like it has to be in the order in which it's tweeted or whatever. That's the beauty of it. That's how they got you. A few years ago, they changed the algorithm where it is pay to play. So you have to spend money to have your content be seen further. Unless you're just creating viral content and you already have that following.
Yeah. Like if you go back even as much as maybe 14 months ago or maybe 2 summers ago, when I wasn't even doing memes, my regular pictures were getting, 1,200, 1,300 likes. Yeah. And then the algorithm changed and that dropped to 400 or 500.
Now you get a couple hundred,
Until the memes
they want
came
you to
about.
spend money.
Yep.
They truthfully hate meme pages because that's the shit that goes viral, but people who make memes aren't spending money on memes.
No,
you don't have to.
Yeah. It's literally the easiest. It's the cheapest way to grow a following.
Yeah.
It breaks the algorithm.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I started in 05, so I have a good excuse to not. Like, I got the game from older dudes, but the game, it was a good game, but it was just old game.
Yeah.
It was just
that game has changed so much.
Exactly.
Even in the last 5 years, I've been in it for 5 years. It's changed completely.
Exactly. So, like, when I see, like, Paul, why does your page suck? Like, why are you.
That should be a new Instagram. Why does your social media suck?
I have an excuse. My page sucks because I'm just an old dude. Like, so why does your page? You're young. Like, you knew better.
You know what's funny?
It's time consuming.
I completely redid my page though.
Oh, so it doesn't suck
He
anymore?
rebranded.
Well, this is what happened.
Since yesterday, motherfucker, I saw it.
My cousin does not. He works for a clothing company, right? But he is like Instagram famous. Like all of his pictures are amazing.
Yeah.
So what I did was I archived all of my posts on Instagram, and I gave him my phone. I was like, all right, you put the post there that should be there. Right now it looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, so
because you got to mix it up. It can't be if it's just flyers or like all that stuff.
Flyers will never get a lot of likes.
There's an I hate to say insult art, but there is a art and a technique and a science to this shit. I hate to insult both art and science and compare it.
Yeah.
But there is, I mean, high quality content. If you don't put up a shitty picture, here are your quick social media tips for the day. Don't put up shitty content, meaning if you're going to put up a picture, make sure it's clear. You know, I don't want to see your blurry shit. I don't want to look like I know that you were drunk when you took this picture. You know what I mean? Like I want to know. And then, you know, you can use a couple hashtags. Don't go crazy.
I use 11.
11 is all right. Any more, you might be is too aggressive. All right. And just
you put them in the comment. Like, is that the trick?
No, I do sentence. Then I do 5 dot. It's literally the same.
Like
it's kind of
click.
the same. Yeah,
everyone has their technique. Who really knows
I'm
of
mostly
any
just
of this
like
shit?
hiding the hashtags, but the hashtags are the way you get discovered.
Right.
I mean, if I don't have hashtag dank meme page on there as much, I would never even. I hate saying that out loud, but that's
my God,
people come to it because of that. Yeah.
No, but they also have shut down certain hashtags in the weed community. Like you can't hashtag hashtag girls who smoke weed is broken.
Well, because somebody.
I used to hashtag Tommy Chong, and that shit would make my weed stuff go crazy. And they broke that one.
They broke Tommy Chong's hashtag?
Meaning, like if you hashtag it, it won't get seen.
Yeah, there are some hashtags that don't go anywhere.
A lot of the porn
it fucks
stuff.
with all of them.
Hashtag photography. I don't know why they like blocked that one.
How do you find that out? Like it's just you'll learn it from trial and error, or
you can see, or like sometimes they'll have articles on it.
Oh, okay.
That's the crazy thing of social media. There's a lot of research that goes in on the comics end. I mean, it is technically, I consider it part of the job because it is still somewhat work.
Right.
Learning the analytics and shit. Like on Twitter, for instance, I get shit on a lot because I follow a lot of accounts. But people, like, I never wanted to say this out loud because it's a brilliant idea. But the reason I do that is because if someone follows you on Twitter, for instance, which I personally don't think the ratio matters on, unless it's Instagram, I take that serious. But if you follow someone and they don't follow you back, you're now a fan of them. If you follow someone and they follow you back, that person now thinks you're friends. And friends come out to shows.
Absolutely, yeah.
So like a lot of these people that I follow back, they think we have this amazing connection because I followed them for years. And I'm also very interactive. I answer all of them.
I don't follow everyone back, but I will talk to pretty much
everyone. It'd probably be
That's backfired on me though. Like on Monday, I used to be at a guy try sneaking in the back exit to the green room to try to meet me. And then they had to call security.
That's crazy.
And then he tweeted at me. And he was like, I'm going to come to your show next week in Venice. And I was like, don't.
Oh, the same dude.
Yeah, I was like, he got Bet Stelling shut him down so bad. He tried to heckle.
Wait, what's this guy's name?
Artie Lee.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, wait, I can't believe I just said his name. Oh, he's not going to
hear this. He's probably shitting himself. Oh, my God, he said my name.
He does live out here.
Fucking stalker.
Where can people follow him?
I'm like, is he single? I'm just don't.
No, he did come to the show by himself.
No, because, I mean, but for you, Rachel, that could be life-threatening. I mean, Dan, it's weird because you're a big dude.
Knock on wood. I haven't had any, like, weird moments yet, but I also, truthfully, I'm not up in the DMs like flirting with dudes. Like I
flirt with you though.
I'll flirt with dudes.
I mean, he will, but then that's why you have
a lot a fan base.
Artie Lee showing up barefoot, single.
I like how you added that
with a vibrator. Where's Dan LaMorte?
It's amazing how many men do think I'm gay. Yeah.
What if
I don't deny it. So
hey, it'll get you booked on more shows out here.
Hell yeah, dude.
What if that guy showed up with Wolfie? Like, we're here to see.
Like, here's Artie, my buddy.
It's like,
no. I think a lot of it too is you allow people to treat you like. If someone's gonna be weird, I'll block you immediately. If you, even if you're like liking too, even if it's like on the positive side, where someone's like liking my stuff too much and they're like commenting too much, and I'm like, okay, this is like. too much. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need you as a fan. Like, just go away.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm an asshole,
No,
but like, I think a lot, you have what?
The block button's amazing.
Like block, mute, block. But I think you have to protect yourself too, because like that's the other thing about social media is these people think they know you because you share so much of your life. And
I've had my address posted before from an angry Twitter follower.
Whoa.
Yeah, because he didn't like the way I responded to him. So he said, "You want me to post your address?" And I was like, "You're bluffing." And then he's like, "Do you want me to post what comes after the 8 and the E?" And I was like, "No, please don't."
No, someone did threaten. I did have someone threaten me on Twitter to release my address, but I Twitter.
How do they find that out? What do they Google?
There's so many
everything is public information.
If you pay like $5,
if you pay rent, it's public information.
Like when I was a kid, my parents moved out of our house and we had to live at my uncle's house for a little while before we got a new one. And if you go on some websites, that's registered as a location we lived in. We were there for 3 months. All because we got our mail rerouted there. If your mail comes to a place, your address can be found by anyone.
It's freaking crazy, man. Yeah. We had a similar, like when we were at the Stress Factory in New Jersey, there was a girl who she was cool for my act. She's a college kid getting drunk, but when batch goes up, she's just like he has some self-deprecating, like he's like, oh, being internet famous isn't shit. It's like being the third member of Destiny's Child. Like whatever. He's doing all this stuff about. But he's setting the joke up, right? Yeah. And this goes, no, you're great. I love you. And he's like, I don't know what to do with you. Yeah. Like, because I need the tension to be built so that the other part can pop. You know what I mean? There's still like a thing happening, and she's messing up the whole
those are people who are who pay to think that they're going to see that the show is just for them.
Right.
We've all had those people. They're like, no one else is around. We are directly speaking to them.
That's that crazy thing that comes back to social media and podcasting, because it opens up a side of a person that's so raw and genuine that these people sometimes mistake it for an actual genuine bond. Like, for instance, one of my favorite comics who's passed away was Harris Whittles, who is a big LA guy. I loved Harris because we're both fans of the band Fish. And I personally, the first time I met Harris, felt like I already knew everything about him because of podcasts. And I was like, oh my God, this is what people are just feeling when they come to shows.
Wow.
So it's actually sometimes refreshing to get the really mean comments. My favorite one ever on Twitter was, I posted a picture of my dog, and one of the first comments was, fuck your dog, fuck your family, and fuck you. And I was like, damn, really covered all the bases.
Love it.
And I was like, I don't know why he said that, but I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I got I'll pee in her butt.
Oh.
Or I'd pee in her butt.
I'd pee in her butt. Nice. And then do you block that guy, or you just oh, cool.
He didn't say it wasn't funny. He was like,
yeah, there was nothing negative.
If he was like, yeah, exactly. So kept it real.
Oh man, this is
for the longest time. A lot of like my coworkers, other comics, would shit on me for the amount of time I dedicate to social media.
It's unhealthy.
But that's the reason that I get to work good clubs on the road now. I don't have a late night set. I don't have a special. But there's a reason I still headline A rooms, and it's because at the end of the day, they just want people to be there. Yeah. If your fans are coming out to shows, they don't care how the fuck they're there.
That's how comedy is changing too. Because it's like, not that you're hilarious. You are hilarious, but sometimes it's not necessarily about funny for some of these places.
We could name drop Southern Mama.
Right?
Oh man.
But you know what? Geez. He, to us, is not funny because we're stand-up comics and it's set a punchline or joke here, whatever. And he's, made his own, but he tapped into a niche. His audience loves him.
Yep.
He could do no wrong. He could shoot someone in the middle of Times Square.
Exactly.
He could bomb at JFL and his audience would be like, fuck JFL, fuck that festival, fuck Canada. It's America.
What happened?
What happened in America? Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, it really, it kind of is your protective barrier in a sense of like, it's if people will show up for you, then you're still going to get opportunities.
And what I've realized out here is even more so than New York, everyone's on their phones here. So like in New York, you could do a show at a sold out club and you might not get a follower from it. Right. I've done 3 shows in LA so far, and I've gotten followers from everyone because everyone is so connected to their phone out here.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. I can't wait to come out here for good.
It's crazy. I don't know why New York is not. I guess they're just like not into the
because
whole
I think we still,
thing.
influencing hasn't hit New York the same way it's hit here. I think because we don't have as many nice street murals.
Probably.
We don't have a really nice Melrose. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like New York has this attitude, like, fuck that motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
fuck that motherfucker.
It's just
like, I don't
because
know.
New York is so real, and it's like the idea of influencing, of being this like persona in this fake world, this man-made social construction.
Yeah, they always want to check you. They always want to make sure.
Yeah, it's because it's not reality, right? It's like whatever we create it to be.
Yeah.
Right.
I've seen influencers get eaten alive on New York stand-up shows.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gotta be beautiful.
I'm not going to name drop, but there was a guy who's a former celebrity and now stand-up comic. And
I already know who you're talking about.
he was in New York
Former
this past
celebrity,
weekend
now
at
stand-up.
a big-time club.
Piven?
and-
You talking about Jimmy
No.
Piven?
I'll tell you off air because I actually respect the guy. I like him. And
Oh, okay.
I heard, because Gotham's a club I work a lot, I got the word from them that his weekend was awful.
Oh,
He couldn't control anyone in the room because they saw right through his horseshit.
yeah.
Well, that's the other thing, is like, you may be an entertainer, you may not be a stand-up comic, but you may be getting opportunities because you can sell tickets, but like, you will not have the respect from the community,
Yeah.
which, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other cool thing, is there's still responsibility I feel like in your following, because say I was to go to like Zany's in Chicago and they headline me for the first time. If I was to go there and bomb the entire week, despite the following, they're not going to probably bring you back, because there are some people there who aren't your fans.
Right,
so they need to put out a good show.
Right.
So that's what I like, because social media, you could get as famous as you want, but at the end of the day, if you want a long-term career in this, you're still going to have to show up and produce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta. I mean,
I love this. I didn't know this whole episode was going to be social media. I'm in
It's
love.
fascinating. No, I mean, because honestly, there are in comedy, there's people like us who've kind of figured out that side of it, the internet side of comedy, and creating content for that audience. But also, we have the ability to perform live, which some people are just good at one.
Exactly.
right.
It's so hard to even just be good at one.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like now you have to be the comic and the business person.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's,
And now what is your brand? I hate that too. But it's like,
The big
you
three
are
words.
a brand, you know?
Yeah. people
Brand,
have to know.
analytic, algorithm. I think those are going to be baby names soon.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is my
Exactly.
son,
Like, comment,
algorithm.
and subscribe. I'm having 3 kids. Yep. Call them Sub for short.
If those names ever happen, it's going to be in LA.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sure, man. Yeah, dude. Well, you guys, I mean, I know you guys got stuff like coming up. You're in town.
I'm in town
I know
till
you-
the 17th.
You were taking you were talking to True TV. I don't know if that was all fair business.
So
my
I've
bad.
done, It's,
You got projects in the works and stuff. You're right.
possibly. You never know.
Oh, okay. No, I got you. You
There's
gotta-
meetings and projects, but I think we all have come to learn that
Yeah.
you believe it when the contract
Exactly. When you
Exactly.
see sign and
Yeah.
sealed.
signed and sealed, and even
Exactly.
then, like until
Yeah.
you shoot,
Yeah, exactly. Until you're there, the makeup's on.
Have you
Yeah.
guys had a nightmare thing like that? Like a thing that you thought was gonna happen? And
I try never. I literally can't. I just never set myself up for any of that. It's like a.
You
it's like
already
a-
are like
It's like a survival thing. No, it's not a thing. It's more just like, it would be great if it happens, but like, until I see, I don't.
Yeah.
This industry is so full of bullshitters. Like, you have to fight through all the bullshit, and it's not
Right.
worth it's not worth putting your eggs all in one basket,
Yeah.
or like putting your hopes into people out here. You got to know that you're going to do it for yourself. If it comes, great. If
because
it doesn't,
mental health in this business, as we know, is so intertwined. So if you put all those eggs in one basket, and it doesn't work out, and you convinced yourself it was, I mean, it fucking breaks you.
Damn, dude.
and that how many people? There's so many people who get so close, and it's like,
Yeah, like, as a
my mom
kid-
had a television show. My mom had her own TV show here in Hollywood, a judge TV show. She had it for a year, and after
Really?
that was it. They tossed her out like she was last year's dress. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying, is like, I've been through that personally. So that's why for me, it's like, even when you get that show, there's still comics out here. Some of my favorite comics, they have TV credits. They still have trouble getting up. Like, you can't, it doesn't matter where you are. You still just have to be in the moment, be grateful, and just hope good things come for you.
Yeah,
You know?
Like, my biggest dream was always, I'm a huge comedy nerd, like the history of comedy. Like when I was 8 years old, I had a piggy bank that was decorated in LA pictures, because I always wanted to come to Hollywood. And my dream in New York was always the Comedy Cellar.
Yeah.
And then I got that. And then literally I worked there straight for a year, and then they stopped using me. because I was too young. I had no business being there.
Yeah.
And that to me was the craziest thing. Like for a month, it ruined me. But now, like stepping back, I was like, oh, wait, my following is stronger now. My material is better.
You're
I dropped all the jokes I was
when
doing.
you're older. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then that's when I learned not to focus so much on one thing because that happened and then it went away and I was like, well, I feel awful.
You have to also go where you're appreciated. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, look, guys, I appreciate you guys so much for stopping in, man.
Yes.
So now this is going to drop when, Paul? Next Tuesday?
This is dropping on Monday.
Wait, can I plug my socials?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's do that. Everybody.
Follow me at Wolfie Comedy or at Wolfie Memes if you like weed memes on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Dope.
And I am at Dan LaMorte on everything. DanLamorte.
Sick. I'm Mr. Sean, Mr. Sean Grant.
I'm so happy you changed it.
Yeah, people give me shit for changing it. It was
Mrs. Sean Grant.
No, it was
what?
No. It was
he was thinking about transitioning.
Sean Grant Pictures, and Ambassador's like, that's so stupid.
Yeah, good thing you changed that.
Because it's like, I have words.
At least
for
do
Instagram.
Sean Grant JPEG or like something like.
You know, I was a photographer. I was like, oh no, you take pictures on Instagram, you do words on Twitter. So Sean Grant. But
was it Sean Grant words on Twitter?
Twitter, yeah, it's still that. But I was like,
that's cool.
I love that.
But for branding, you want to be cohesive. You want everything to kind of be the same.
It should be the official Sean Grant official pictures.
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Sub, comment, like, subscribe, everything.
Right, what's yours, Paulie?
You can follow me at the Paul Antonio. I have a show that I need to plug because I need people there. December 19th. It's my show. I don't know you either. In Pomona at O'Donovan's Pub.
Hell yeah.
Woo.
That's next Wednesday. What'd you say?
Next Wednesday. It's on a Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
8 p.m. show.
Nice.
It's always fun. Last time we packed it out, bro.
Oh, yeah. That's a beautiful room. I love that room, man.
Yeah.
Sick.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I'll be on the comedy pop-up show next week.
Yes.
Which one? Where is
Comedy
it?
Pop-Up.
At the Haha Cafe.
At the
nice.
Haha on December, is it 12th?
Yeah, the Thursday.
Oh, Thursday?
Wait, I got it right
Oh,
here.
you guys
Wednesday?
bump Latin night.
Or is that a Tuesday?
December 11th.
Yeah, I know
Tuesday,
nothing.
December
Oh,
11th.
Tuesday.
I was 2 days off.
That's tomorrow when this drops.
Oh, okay. That's right.
I'll be
yeah.
at the Laugh Factory on Monday.
Oh, sick, man. Hell yeah. Well, shit. I can't think of what I'm doing next week.
Throw one out.
I'm at the Madhouse. No, that's freaking Friday. And then I'm at
Oh, yeah. Can I promote that one? I'm headlining the Comedy Palace on December 14th.
Oh, San Diego, dope. Yeah, we go to. Oh, if you're in Alabama, in the end of January, me, King Batch, and DJ Alizé, we're gonna be there. Birmingham, Huntsville,
Yeah,
and
I love Alabama.
Yeah, the Stardome.
I was just there this past summer.
Hell yeah! It's like they appreciate shit, man. They don't get anything.
Maybe you, not me.
No?
They did not appreciate me.
The best shows I've ever done have all been in Alabama.
He told some Grateful Dead fan that fish rules.
Yeah.
Oh, but what's the comedy pop-up stuff, bro? My bad. I always.
Oh, yeah. If you want to follow Comedy Pop-Up, like I said, we got a show December 11th at the Haha. It's a dope lineup. Dan's going to be on it.
Lucas Bros.
The Lucas Bros are on.
Love them.
Oh, nice.
I have the lineup right here. I could actually. Takara Williams.
Oh, yeah, she's great.
Crystal Marie.
Oh,
and,
love her.
Lydia
yeah.
Popovich.
Nice.
She's great.
Yeah, it's going to be a dope show. If you want to follow Comedy Pop-Up, it's at Comedy Pop-Up. If you want to follow the podcast network, at CPU Podcasts.